back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Tuesday, November 14th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have various social medias that you can follow me on. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there if you are interested. I also have show notes, so links to things that I will be talking about will be linked on my blog. If you're on YouTube, the link to the blog is down below. If you're on my blog already, everything is already there. I'm also a knitting pattern tech editor. If you are interested, or if you know of someone who is in need of a tech editor, please send me a message. I would love to chat about working with you. Or if you'd like to just gather information and read up by yourself, there's the Graceful Edits tab, which is available on my website as well. So that has all the information, and if you'd like to chat more about it, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram. We have lots to talk about. We have finishing up the Rhinebeck experience haul. There's not as much. We did get through most of it last time, but there is still a little bit left. And yeah, we just have a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's get into it today. I just made a latte in my holiday Starbucks mug that also has like the little thing on the order check things on the other side. I got this in college because I would go to a Starbucks near me and hole myself up there to study, and every holiday season I would treat myself to a mug, and this is one of my favorites. So, fun fact about me that you did not necessarily need to know, but now you know. I have a latte today. If you like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, animal snuggle, laundry to fold, whatever it may be, I hope it will bring you joy, rest, or I can help you get through a task that is not as pleasant, like laundry, which I will have to do later. You do all those things, none of those things, and come back and join me for some crafty chat. Oh, that's a good one. That is so good. I don't know where to begin. I feel like I am not very well organized today. Feeling a little scattered. I don't know why. Trying to combat the scatteredness with a fun lipstick, and I don't know, I was gonna say something about my hair. I did color my hair. You can't really see it. It's kind of pink. We're here for it. Love it. Maybe you can see it. I don't know. It's hard to tell what I see on the camera and then what ends up it actually being on my computer and the video itself. So maybe you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. If not, I'm gonna take some pictures soon. What am I what am I doing? I don't know. What am I doing? We have projects to talk about. We have yarn to talk about. I do have my advents. My advents have arrived, both of them. And I'm so excited. And I haven't opened the box or package. I'm gonna wait until December 1st. I think we will discuss. You know, we're friends. We can talk about this together. I can bounce ideas off of you. Thank you for being here for that. What am I wearing? I'm wearing my O-Band cardigan by Thea Coleman that I finished last year. It's a favorite. It is so snuggly. It also has pockets, so every time I fold it and put away, and the next time I put it on, I inevitably find at least 5 Kleenexes in my pockets. Which I don't know if that is a normal thing, but I know that this is something that my family does, mainly me, my mom, and my sister. So, Mom, I know you're watching this. You probably have Kleenexes in your pockets too, and I have one in each. But you don't need to see my wadded up Kleenexes out of my pockets, but they are there. Because I just have a chronically runny nose. I don't know. It's a comfort Kleenex, you know? Gotta have them there. I wasn't expecting to talk about this today, but it just kind of came out my mouth, and now you also know another random fact about me. Oh, goodness gracious. So yes, love my O-band cardigan. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have maybe seen that I posted about taking care of your favorite knits and giving them self-care, giving the sweater care, and that in a way is kind of like giving yourself self-care because you've put all this work and effort into these beautiful either knit or crochet or whatever, sewn garments as well. Whatever garments that you may have made for yourself need to be treated so well because they're worth, you put your time in. They're really worth taking care of, so that's important, and in a way kind of taking care of yourself, I feel like. Maybe that's a stretch, I don't know. Anyway, I have a pile of sweaters that are currently almost dry over there that are just kind of not a mess. I wouldn't say it's a mess, but it's just I've fit too many on my drying rack and it's very chaotic, I'll say that. So excited to wear those sweaters. I've got a few more hanging in the bathroom as well because I just didn't have enough space. But things have been washed, things have been mended. I keep forgetting to order a gleaner, a sweater razor. I have a sweater pumice stone, but I feel like it doesn't work quite as well as like a shaver would. So I need to get one of those. So, fun fact. I do have a finished object, but I can't show it to you, so I'm sorry. But I do have a finished object. It was a secret test knit, and I'm not sure when exactly I can share it, but I will share it at some point when it comes out. But I did knit it. I knit it in about 3 to 4 days. Super easy. I'm very excited. So that's also drying over there, but it's drying, so I wouldn't want to show you a damp item. Not that it would have mattered to you, because there's no way that you would have known unless I had said it. Oh goodness. What is going on? Okay, so we have a lot of projects. Let's finish up the Rhinebeck acquisitions, also because most of my projects I have carried over here from the couch over to the yarn area. I've transported everything in my New York sheep and wool bag. Ta-da! Which I was very lucky to have gotten. Ta-da! It was beautiful. I love it. It's got these amazing pockets on the back. I know that you probably can't see that, but there's pocket 1 and pocket 2. Mine unfortunately came away with a rip. There's a rip right here, but we're going to embrace it for like a visible mending situation. I'm not quite sure how exactly I'm going to fix it, but I'm excited to figure out how to do that. And it didn't go through the whole bag, it just went through the pocket. So it's just like where the pocket is. I'm not sure. It was kind of a crazy hectic day. There's also another pocket on the inside that's teal, so that's fun. We really lucked out on how we got these. I cannot believe it was one of those things that was just like, that was part of the weekend that was like, oh my, we didn't fully understand how amazing it was when we were in the moment, but looking back was just like, what? How did we get so lucky? I don't know. So we were heading in, we were in line to get our tickets scanned, to do all that jazz at the Duchess Fairgrounds for Rhinebeck, New York Sheep and Wool a couple weeks ago, almost a month ago, That's crazy. And where we were, I couldn't tell you where we were other than we were in a big barn, which I feel like is not helpful because I'm assuming that there were many big barns. I don't know. But for some reason, maybe that was the only place to check in. I honestly don't know. I feel like I'm not doing a good job of providing you with the right information, and I do apologize. The point of my story, we go through, get our tickets scanned, do the bag check, all that jazz, all good, all happy, and we walk through this barn thing to go into the fairgrounds, and off to the side, kind of not even really in the main walkway of getting into the fairgrounds, was a table with a pretty small pile of bags, these New York sheep and wool bags. And there was kind of a line forming because people weren't really sure if like they were also doing check-ins or if there were more ticket scanners or something like that, because I guess we had, maybe the ticket scanners were a little bit after that. I don't remember, but it was roughly in the same area. And so we were like, do we get our bags here or do we wait and do we go inside the actual fairgrounds and then get the bags there? Because like we knew that they were going to have them. And for some reason we decided to stop and get the bags there. And then we discovered that it was cash only, which we were like, okay, maybe we don't need to do this here. Maybe we could just wait and do it inside. And we magically, for some reason, we decided to pool together our cash from 4 people to buy. It all worked out perfectly. Like it was perfect. Like it couldn't have worked out better. We had enough cash to buy 3 bags right there. I think there might have been, after we left that little table, there may have been maybe 10 bags left in that little pile. I think. I could be wrong. And so we had our bags, and like at the start of the day, like before we had even entered officially the fairgrounds, we had our New York sheep and wool bags. We walk into the fairground, and then we see this line that seems like it's miles long. I know it probably wasn't miles long, but it looked like it was miles long. There were so many people. So many people. And in my mind, I was like, that is probably the line for the apple cider donuts. That's the only thing that makes sense. I know that's a really popular thing. And later I found out that was the bag line. That was the line to get these bags that we didn't have to wait in line for. And granted, I do believe that the souvenir tent that had these bags was also taking card, so it was super convenient that we happened to have enough cash to pay for these bags. I am so grateful that it worked out that way because we didn't have to wait in line. I think there were issues later with like bags and people having problems getting bags because there were so many people and it was just a big struggle. I hope everyone that wanted a bag got a bag because it's such a good bag. But it was like incredible. I can't believe it happened that way. And I can't believe that we all had enough cash to get these bags without understanding or realizing what a big deal that was. It was perfect. I should also say we only went on Saturday. That was our day to go to Rhinebeck because our flights were on Sunday, just with like scheduling and everything. That's how it worked out best. And so we only had that one day at Rhinebeck. It was so much fun. It was very rainy, but it kind of made it kind of cozy. It was also super humid. It was so fun. Got to pet some sheep. It was great to be on the hill for the first time and meet more of you all, which was just so exciting. Thank you for coming up and saying hi again. I know I mentioned this last time, but thank you so much for just being viewers, being wonderful, and coming and saying hi, and getting a pin, all that kind of stuff. That was just really, really wonderful. Such precious memories for me, for sure. We didn't really have a plan going in, because once we walked in, we understood like how large this experience was gonna be. It was overwhelming. I know we didn't see everything. We probably didn't even see half of everything. Probably half. I feel like that's generous. I don't know. It was just so much. It was so much in a very good way. It was very crowded. There were some times where it was just kind of like, okay, we're just trying to move from point A to point B. Our group kind of got separated at times, and we eventually just kind of like parked ourselves and waited till we could all go join up again. Not a problem. I mean, though it was crowded compared to the crowds that we had dealt with at Woolen Folk the previous day, that was nothing. It was still very crowded, I will say that. I'm not going to say that it wasn't crowded, because it definitely was, but it was way more manageable. And there were places that you could like escape the crowds, and you could like leave the flow of people. You couldn't really do at the other event. So all good, all part of the experience. We did some very fun, we had some very fun purchases. I think I have all of the ones that I have. There's one of them that I've already cast on, and I'm very excited about it. But I feel like there was more, and honestly, I may be forgetting some things, in which case I do apologize. But, how do we want to talk about this? I don't know. One of the booths that we went to, that we actually went back to later before we left, because it was just so awesome, was Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm. And, oh, this is upside down. I apologize. And when I tell you, they had the most beautiful yarn, the most beautiful colors, the most squishy bases. All the people working in that booth were just so friendly and kind. Definitely will be buying from them again. It was truly a joy. So if you're unfamiliar with Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm, I would highly recommend you checking them out. Ta-da! They're super nice. So one cool thing that I noticed, and I know that they're not the only people who do this necessarily, but it just felt like their color collections were very extensive. They had so many color options, and by collections I mean like this yarn that I got is from the Lord of the Rings inspired collection. This is Springtime, or Spring in Hobbiton, which I do love Lord of the Rings, don't get me wrong. I do love Spring in Hobbiton. It is very nice, but also like this color, can we even? There were so many different types of collections. I didn't even see them all because there were so many of them. And also it was very busy inside their booth. I was very excited for them. I'm glad that they were having a busy crowd, but it was also very crowded inside their booth. It was wonderful. I got this on their shimmer sock base, and it's sparkly, and I really love it. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this, but it was just too pretty, and I wanted to get something that was like springy of some sort, which worked out well. And I really like their sparkle base. I like the feel of it. It's kind of got a woolly feel to it. Oh. You would have thought that I would have read this before, but apparently I didn't know the fiber content. Now I'm going to read it to you. We can learn together. It is 63% US superwash merino wool, 20% silk, 15% nylon, and 2% sparkle. It's a fingering weight, it's 3-ply, and it's 420 yards. So I don't know, I'm shocked by the silk. Like, I feel like now that I know it's in there, I can kind of feel it, but I'm shocked. I don't know what this is going to be, but whatever it's going to be gorgeous. I also got one of their texture pairs, which is their Teddy Boucle and their Sugar Spun yarn base, which I believe is kind of like a mohair, Surrey alpaca, baby alpaca, and silk brushed lace. And then their Teddy Boucle is a superwash merino DK weight. So I love this. It is gorgeous. This is in the colorway Owlette. It's just so pretty. So these two skeins are twisted up together. I've got one skein of the brushed alpaca and one skein of the boucle. I have pulled together some ideas of what to do with these because my mom got one, and I believe, not the same color, but she got one of these as well, and then I believe my sister may have gotten 2 or 3 of them. She found them and came over and was like, you have to come look at these. We were like, okay, take us there. So I'm very excited. It's gonna be a shawl of some sort, I believe, but I just don't know which one and what type. I'm very excited. This yarn is just so soft, and I love these colors. I love it. Love it, love it. So Bumblebee Acres Fiber Farm. Check them out for sure. Then we found the Feederbrook Farm. How many ways can I say this? We found Feederbrook Farm yarns, which was like, if we had a goal, this was like our one goal to go to this booth. It was truly incredible. If you are unfamiliar with their yarn, it's basically another version, a different type of version, similar to Spin Cycle. As you can see, we've got some barber pulling of this yarn. I believe it is, they dye the fiber and then they spin it in their mill. In their mills. I have fuzz in my eye. And amazing. So good. What am I trying to say? That booth was also packed. It was so packed, and like I remember making our way, like squishing our way in there and knowing that I couldn't move anywhere, and we were just gonna look at those colors for a while. It was not necessarily a color palette that I was interested in, but I couldn't go anywhere, so we were gonna look. It was that type of situation, and I mean, again, compared to the day before, it was really not that bad. I'm being dramatic, but there were definitely times where it was just like, okay, we're just gonna chill. It's okay. People are talking, people are looking, I'm in no rush, I can think about what I want, it's okay, it's okay. We just gotta move out of the way of bags and people moving and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I got 2 skeins. I got this skein. I am not sure what exactly this is going to be. I know that I feel like I did have a purpose for it when I was looking, and I feel bad that I have forgotten what that was. It's just too many things to remember, you know? But I love these like tans and pinks along with the silver neutrals. It's just so pretty. I may throw it into just like a color work on the top of something because I'm really feeling in the mood for that right now. You'll see why once we get to my works in progress. So my other skein, I cast on pretty shortly after we got home. And I was inspired by everybody around us with their tessellated sweaters and vests and everything. It was very inspirational. And so my mom was also really inspired and she really wanted to make one. So we got yarn to make a tessellated vest. We're both making the vest, which was just really great for the size that we wanted to make. I believe was just one skein. Actually, I know it was just one skein of the Feederbrook Farms for the one of the colors. And then we wanted to focus on that. And then when my mom got back to her home, she went to her local yarn shop, Maker and Stitch, which if you're new here, I'm a big fan, even though I am not local. Definitely consider it my local yarn shop. She went and got the additional yarns that we needed from them, which is really great because I love like the Camper and the Scout, those yarns from Kilburn Woolens. Like right now, that and like colorwork vibes are really all I want and need. So here's my tessellated. I am loving how it's turning out. I know that the mohair is very, very light. I am using just one strand of mohair, and I do know that the Fua that was originally used by Moondrake is definitely thicker than just one strand of mohair. I'm fine with that. I'm not worried about that. I'm using this Knitting for Olive mohair, which was actually in my mom's stash, and she very kindly donated it to my tessellated cause. Because it was the color that I was looking at, and I believe it's like Poppy Rose or something like that. But I do have the tag. Ah, I was right. Poppy Rose. So yeah, I am just really loving how this is turning out. I haven't worked on this in a little bit just because I've been busy with test knitting. And it's been put on the back burner. Not getting done for Thanksgiving. That's okay. Not gonna happen, and that's fine. I know it will be okay. But I am loving working on it. It's very chill. Very chill indeed. And right now it's just doing this very simple, straightforward repeat over and over and over again. Easy peasy. So we will be traveling to see my family in Colorado for Thanksgiving. So I'm trying to figure out what I should bring for travel knitting. And whether or not this will be one of them. This is in my Tanny Casey bag that I got from Cakepalooza with the cats that I mentioned last time, and I love it. So this is very fun. Okay, so I think that actually finishes off the whole Rhinebeck weekend. Sorry, my eyes have been very itchy today. I think got a lot of changes in weather recently, and it's really messing with my eyes. Who knows? But I do know that I made a really great latte today, so my eyes may be itchy, but I have a great coffee. Priorities, man, you know. It's okay when you have a good cup of coffee. Anyway. So we have projects to share. I forgot to mention the tessellated pullover and vest pattern is designed by none other than Andrea Mowry. That was her Rhinebeck sweater for this year, which was why everybody was wearing them, and it was very inspirational, and I am so excited to be able to wear that, but I forgot to mention that's who designed it. How many projects do we have to talk about? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hi. Look at me go, though. I mean, we're making progress on things. We're doing good. We are doing good. That was also after the tessellated pullover, so in actuality we had 7. Just for clarification. First of all, I probably worked on this the least. Which I may bring this with me. This may be a travel project, honestly. I'm feeling pretty good about that being a travel project. This is my Stephen West Mystery Knit Along for 2023. This is the Geo Gradient, and where's my other needle? Oh, there it is. It's like, where did it go? It is all on a big loop, because that is what a circular needle is. Goodness gracious. What am I talking about? It's all, I'm knitting on one of the sides, but because it's all on the same circular needle, it looks like a bag basically, so it's hard to see what this is. My point being, here's my side. First side, I am very behind. Yes, I'm very aware, and I'm also trying not to lose stitches. But I made progress. Not a ton of progress, but I've made some progress. I am loving this though, and I love how it looks. I love the finished object. I love all the various versions that people have been so creative with their new starts and new beginnings of this Mystery Knit Along, which is just so exciting to see. I will be finishing this one for sure. It's just not going to be like tomorrow or even next time we talk, and it's probably not going to happen. I've got a lot of other stuff going on. And I'm in no rush. I love my yarn. I've got Undercover Otter as the lime green. I've got Moon Tower Dye Works, which is the speckled one. I've got Life in the Long Grass, and what we decided was either Madeline Tosh or Lamb String Yarns. I love it. It's great. I opted for no bobbles. Like I said last time, I think I was just too tired in the moment of deciding bobbles, so it was all good. I'm really excited to move forward. It's living in my favorite bag of all time, which was made for me by a dear friend. I know I've said this before, but I have to shout it out every time because it really is my favorite. It brings me so much joy. Oh my goodness. So yes, which is it's testament to how amazing this bag is, because it holds 4 full skeins of fingering weight yarn and a shawl, and there's still space. So it's a great bag, and I love it so much. It was such a kind gift. Project number 1. Project number 2, which is probably the second least worked on, which honestly still has gotten a good amount of progress. So I hesitate to say that it's the least worked on. Compared to the others, it is the least worked on. This ball of yarn is like, I'm worried for this, that it may fall apart. We may have to rewind this. These are my Luke's Hotcakes socks by Amanda of Little Bitty Delights. I'm using the yarn from Turtle Pearl Yarns in the Pumpkin Spice colorway, which I do believe she recently had a shop update, and I do believe that these sock sets were in that update. So if you are interested in grabbing a set for yourself, which I do believe that everybody needs these, because they're so cute, and it's such a good base. Would highly recommend. And she's got such cute colors other than this one, but this one's really good too. So I do have one finished sock. It is done. I would like to get these done for Thanksgiving, which I do believe is possible. I just have to like actually do it. The cool thing about these Turtle Pearl yarns, if you watch the episode of this podcast where I was going over the yarns before I wound them up, you get 2 50-gram, I think they're 50-gram, I could be wrong, but you get 2 separated skeins that are exactly the same. and a mini. Or you don't have to have the mini. I do believe there's a non-mini option. And so you can have identical socks, which I know that some people feel very strongly about, and I completely respect that. I personally do not feel that strong need, which is also very respectable and very valid. We all have our own opinions on socks. Which ultimately, if you're the one who's wearing the socks, your opinion is the only one who matters. Unless you have a friend who's making your socks, in which case that's a whole other issue. But if you're making socks for yourself, and if you don't want them to match, they don't have to match. So I'm not matching my socks. I continued on with this same very messy cake of yarn that I was using when I finished this pair, and just continued on with this sock, and continued on with this second sock. Which I think it worked out pretty well, actually, because it's almost exactly lined up but flipped with the repeats, which I think is pretty cool. So worked out pretty well. Not that I need it to match. It's just that how things lined up worked out very well. So I'm just plugging along with these, having a grand old time. This is one of my, like, we're driving somewhere and I need something to throw in the car to knit on type situation. So again, I would like to get these done for Thanksgiving. It may also be that I bring these with me and finish them on our trip there, but I would like to get them done so I do not have to pack an entire project bag and yarn that I will finish shortly after leaving, and then have to tote this around and have not enough space for other things. Do love this bag. It is from This Handmade Life. It's got pumpkins on it. I will be using this year round. I do not care. I love it. And I also love the leather pull on it. It's a very high quality bag. Big fan. This is, I believe, my first bag of hers, which is very exciting. I followed her for a long time. Project number 2. We've got 4 more to go. Okay, so let's separate these up for test knits, shall we? Save the test knits for last. Oh my goodness gracious. I cannot even with this yarn. It is incredible. This is not getting done for Thanksgiving either. I had wanted to do that and it's just not in the cards, but that's okay. That's okay. This neckline looks massive, but I know it will all come together when we pick up around the neck and do the wonderful ribbing that brings it all together. So this is the Very V-Neck Raglan by Jessamade. Out of this yarn that is truly spectacular and is giving me everything that I've ever wanted in my hopes and dreams of boucle yarn. Like, I cannot even I cannot even this was a Cake Palooza purchase, so hey, good on me for not waiting to cast something on of new yarn purchases, and we're using the nice things. We're not gonna wait till we like go again and then frantically knit up something that we had gotten the time that we had gone before, and that ends up being 5 years ago or whatever. We knit the nice things. We got things with a purpose. I'm loving it. I'm on my second skein. I have 4 skeins of the Boutique Boucle from Fashion School Dropout. And this is from her Daisy Jones and the Six collection. This is Hello Mrs. Dunn. Bye-bye. I can't. It's so pretty. It is just so gorgeous, and I wish you could see it in person because it's showing up more pink. Again, there's more pink in this than I had expected and from what I had seen online, and I love it with the pink. It is so good. It is so good. And I am so excited to have a sweater out of this. I can't believe it. I'm just like over the moon. Bummed this won't be done for Thanksgiving, but again, I've been working on many other things and it's okay. It's okay. But I'm just on the body now. Like, I don't have anything else really left to do other than the neckline that's going to require a lot of like brain effort. I will say with this pattern, the Very V-Neck Raglan by Jessamade is a wonderful pattern in that it has such a wide array of sizes, which is just so awesome, and it is written such that if you kind of generally understand sweater construction and how things fit, it's very easy to make adjustments to change it so that one part of the sweater may be one size and another part of the sweater may be another size, which I think is really incredible. And one of the really nice things about top-down raglan sweaters, it is just such an amazing aspect of that. So the size I'm making, I have now kind of finagled my way into something that is kind of in between a couple of different sizes to get exactly what I want, which, I mean, I'm not worried about. At this point, I know what I'm doing. It's all good. And again, I know this neckline looks so massive. It will all be okay. And I know this was the same situation when I knit a sample for Diane of Suburban Stitcher earlier this year for her DFW colorway, and I knit the outline raglan by Jessamade, and the same thing with that sweater was that the neckline was huge until you picked up and did all the extra stuff. Except I think with that it was just like, I don't remember if that was like an actual rib neckline or if it was just kind of like a pick up bind off situation. But either way, it definitely helped bring it in, and goodness knows this is a very large neckline. For the size that I was making originally, the V-neck was gonna end up being like down by my belly button, which is fine for some people if that is the vibe that you were going for, however you may choose to wear it. That is not the vibe that I was going for, and not the image of this sweater that I had. So I joined together in the rounds sooner, which meant that my neckline increases were a little different. I then started measuring the length from my collarbone from under my arm for my raglan length, and because I didn't want my armhole to also be down basically at my belly button. So I've finagled things to be the size and shape and look that I want, which I am just so excited about. And I like that we have had the sun go behind the clouds, so the lighting is a little bit more natural now. I don't know if you've noticed. But I have noticed. I see some storm clouds rolling in over there. It's very windy over here. And now you've had your weather update from me for this episode. Hopefully I will not talk about the weather again. You never know. So I'm just knitting on the body. I do need to try it on just to understand the direction I'm going. Obviously, all I have to do left is just knit the body and on this part of what I'm doing, and then I'm done. I just need to make sure that I get the length right. But I'm so excited. I am just over the moon with this. It is even better than I could have hoped for, and I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. I need everything in this yarn. I need everything in this yarn. Speaking of this yarn, speaking of the whole boucle movement, which I feel like is coming back, I am a huge fan of, is it Lauren or Laura? We are looking this up very quickly. Where are you? The Yarn Addict. Lauren, yes. Lauren of the Yarn Addict Co. She is a yarn dyer and does these beautiful tonals. Like, I can't even. She is such a good dyer out, and I just can't. And she's got a couple patterns. I did one of her patterns a couple years ago for my Heathered Handmaids Advent calendar, which was super exciting and one of my favorite things that I've made out of Advents. Love it. She posted on her stories that someone, I don't remember how it came up, but basically it was bringing up the idea of making socks out of boucle. And like that would just make like those fuzzy socks that everybody loves that you can get for $3 at the CVS or Target that are amazing and cute. But if you can make them yourself out of boucle, this opens up a huge experience that I feel like I need to experience. I replied to her and I was like, I didn't know I needed them, and now I can't stop thinking about them. So the thing is that my boucle stash is literally limited to this yarn and this one skein that I have gotten. So very limited on my boucle stash, but I think this is something that I need to do in the future. I don't really know anything outside of the idea that it needs to happen, but I need to do that. So maybe in the new year, this project has snagged on something. This project is living in my pumpkin pie bag that was made by Knitsn, Haley of Knitsn, but I purchased it from the Moon and Yarn Craft Room booth at Cake Palooza. It was just wonderful, wonderful experience. So I love it. I just looked down at my phone to see what the time was, and I feel like the day went by super quickly until I sat down to record, and now time is just going so slowly. Not that it matters, but or maybe this time of me recording is just going longer. Or it's going slowly. I don't even know. What am I saying? It doesn't matter, because when you watch this, it won't even be the time that I'm recording. So, whatever. We're moving on. Next up is my weekender that I'm knitting a sample of for Audrey of the Conifer Collective. And everybody, when I tell you that this tweed color is just like the best thing, it is truly the best thing with the tweed. It is so good. I finished the body, and I'm showing you the back. I finished the body, and now I'm working on the first sleeve, and it's just flying by. I did all of that in probably a total of 2 hours, 3 hours, 2.5. I can't even. It is beautiful. It is truly beautiful. And can we, even with this tubular bind off, like, did I do such a good job with that? I did such a good job with that. Big pat on the back for that. I did good. So this is a sample for her. I am knitting this for her and will send it back to her when I am done. Unfortunately, I will have to say goodbye to this beautiful masterpiece of yarn and pattern. The Weekender is by Andrea Mowry, I should also say. I did say all the other designers. I feel like I've forgotten to do that. I did say that. Anyway, so I'm just plugging along. It's going real great. And I think I need one of these too in my spare time. I'm gonna be really sad to say goodbye to this. But I just love how this has turned out. Like the tweed is just so good. It's so good. And I don't know if it's picking up well on camera. I hope you can see it. It's just like, it's subtle, but there's not like a lack of tweed. And with the colors, with the gray and the speckles of the colors and everything, it's just perfect. If you are unfamiliar with the Conifer Collective, you definitely need to check out Audrey on her Instagram and her website. I know she has her yarn in a couple of yarn shops in Colorado, I believe, and maybe other places. But if you can check her out, please do. She's also just such a wonderful human being, and she's so kind. I had not had the pleasure of meeting her in person. My mom actually has, and yeah, hopefully I will get to meet her at some point in person. So, I'm loving working on this. It's been so much fun. And now I'm just on like the sleeve island, which I do love. And it's literally the last thing. And it's probably the easiest thing. I'm not alternating skeins for the sleeves. I don't need to, which is great. So I'm just like flying through these things. But yeah, so I'm loving working on this. I had the back of the yarn somewhere. That's okay. I know it is somewhere. Oh, I think it's up there. Oh, there it is. It's up there. I see it. Just put my stuff away and could not find where I had put it. Anyway. Loving the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. Sample for the Conifer Collective. Love it. This should be done before the next time we chat. So I'm going to try and get pictures before I send it away. But hopefully it should be done very soon indeed. Next up, we're down to our last two projects. They're both test knits, other than the finished object that I also have that I cannot show you. That is for a future date, which is okay. But I do have two new test knits, and yes, I do know that I have said many times before and was going to try and stick with that this year as well. Once it gets past a certain point, no more test knits for the end of the year. I saw these two and I was like, I have to do them. And the other one I was asked to do. So, and I was very happy to do it. I knew it literally took me like 2 to 3 days, 3 to 4 days. Not a problem. Anyway, these two are sweaters. Yes, I know everybody. Don't come for me. I understand. This is my own doing. Should I have said no? Should I have even applied? I don't know, but these sweaters are just so cute. I needed them. Everybody, I needed them. They were the type of sweaters that I had seen like the designers posting about them leading up to the testing call, and in my mind being like, I need that. And then when the testing call came up again, I was like, oh, there it is. I have my chance. I must do this. So it's not like it was I had thought about it. It was not as impulsive as it could have been. But it was definitely, I had kind of thought about it. Whatever, I don't know. So this first one is amazing and has a farther out deadline. And let me get her name. I should remember this. Hannah. Hannah of Sand Made Knits. I test knit for her earlier this year as well. And it was a delightful experience. And so I am now getting two, I believe this is called the syncopated something. Syncopated striped sweater. And here's mine so far. And I am just loving this. It is all stash busting. Everyone, can we believe it? I'm so excited. We dove deep into the stash and pulled out these colors. It is a DK weight pullover. It is a raglan, so you can see. Striped, slip stitches, 3 colors, or as many or as few as you would like. My foot is falling asleep. Ugh, we're readjusting. And yeah. I'm loving working on this. It's very slow going for right now just because I've been working on other things and I know that this deadline is further out. The other ones are much sooner. So I need to get cracking on those or obviously one is done. So that one's fine. But yes, the main color is yarn that I got from Maker and Stitch. Surprise, surprise, a while ago. This is the Fiber Company Cumbria. It's their DK weight base, or a DK weight base. It's a Masham wool, merino, and mohair. So it's quite woolly and fuzzy, but in like a not scratchy way. It's very nice. It's perfect. Which I originally got this yarn to make a v-neck raglan, very v-neck raglan. I just made what I'm now doing out of the boucle. So, all good. Same pattern is still being made. For my contrasting colors, I'm using leftover Scout from Maker and Stitch by Kilburn Mullins. I used this for my Junko pullover, which was a test knit for Andrea Goggin earlier this year. It's kind of like a taupey, purpley, mauve-y color. Love it. I have this unknown skein of black fingering weight that I am holding double. It's kind of like a charcoal-y color, variegated charcoal. Tonally variegated, I should say. So that's working out well. And then I have this skein that I was saving. So we're using the nice things. It is a skein of sock yarn from Sweet Sparrow Yarns. I got her advent calendar last year, and this was the big skein at the end of it. It is very woolly. It is fingering weight, so I'm holding it double. It's working out great. But it's kind of like this very beautiful rust color. I believe the colorway is called Mittens. Maybe. The ball band is way over there, and I don't have time to stop and go get it. So we're gonna pretend this is Mittens. It's something like that. It's like long johns or mittens, or it's some article of clothing. I love it. It's super woolly, and I know I'll have plenty left over, so I know I can put it into other things, which is very exciting. But this color combination, is just so good. Big fan. And then, because we like to do things a little differently, I also pulled out this dark purple, which I believe is Life in the Long Grass from forever ago. And I may do like the bind offs around the neck, arm, and cuffs. Neck, cuffs, and body. That would be the correct terms, to just add another little color in there, because I really like that with this. Can I balance everything? There we go. Just love it. Such a vibe. Now everything's falling. Okay. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying working on this right now. I'm not feeling any pressure. I may This is also a potential bringing with for Thanksgiving. It's really fun though. Like, I'm very much enjoying the process and working with these yarns. I think once I divide for the sleeves, it'll be much easier just to kind of go on autopilot a little bit. The slipping of the stitches and color work and all that kind of stuff, it's not really color work, but you accomplish it by slipping stitches. It's very easy and straightforward, very easy to remember and not have to look at your pattern, which is very nice. So yeah, loving this. Syncopated Stripe Pullover by Hannah of the Sandmade Knits on Instagram. And her patterns are also really great. They are available on her website. They are not available on Ravelry, just so you know. If you go looking for them, they will not show up, which is okay. Very, very valid. Very, very fine. That's just where she's chosen to put her stuff. So lastly, and my itchy eyes are still itchy. I apologize. Is living in my Krista Jekyll bag, which I got from Woolen Folk and I love so much, and it makes me so happy. This was very last minute test knit, and once I saw it again, I saw the posting of like, this is gonna be coming soon, this is gonna be a new test knit, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then I saw the tester call and I was like, I must apply. And then I got it and I needed to get yarn. So I made a quick order from Maker and Stitch. Surprise, again, surprise, surprise. And they have the best shipping. It's very prompt. I got it very quickly. I am doing another test knit that's all tangled. Oh no. We do not like this. Oh, there we go. Another test knit for the one and only Isabel Kramer. Such a big fan of Isabel Kramer. If you are new here, this is this Stan account for Isabel Kramer, basically. This is what I have so far of her upcoming sweater, the Yule Do, Y-U-L-E space D-O, like Yule time, Yule Do. So I'm loving this. It's kind of like her holiday sweater, but obviously you could use whatever colors you wanted to. I have opted for a navy and a gray just because it's kind of like wintry. Love that. Wanted to kind of go for a more, almost kind of like a Norwegian ski sweater with like red and gray or red and cream. But they were out of some of the colors that I was interested in, which is totally fine. I am so happy with this navy. I actually don't have I have a navy cardigan that's drying, so I know that I have that. But as for a navy pullover, I do not. So I'm really loving how this is turning out. It's just very wintry. It looks kind of not snowflakey, but I'm really loving this so far. So I need to work on this a lot. This is going slowly, and what I'd really like to have happen is that I finish this color work and divide for the sleeves before we leave for Thanksgiving. Is that gonna happen? I don't know. I would like it to, because then that means I could just work on the body and the sleeves while I travel, which would be really easy. Would that be too easy though? I think that would just be too easy, and we don't do things easily around here necessarily. Sometimes we make things more complicated than they need to be. I'm just being dramatic. It will be fine either way. Whatever happens, it will be okay. But sometimes we like to be a little extra dramatic. So yes, this is the Yule Do by Isabel Kramer. I am using Camper. What is it? I think it's Camper by Kelborn Woolen. Surprise. I just really like how it knits up. It knits up so well. This is like the fingering sport weight version of Scout, which I've used many a time at this point. I feel like this year has just been, if I could be sponsored by Gilmore Mullins, that would be awesome, but I don't think that's going to happen. I didn't think that's how that works. But I've been using a lot of their yarn this year, so anyway, loving working on this so far. It's been fun. I need to put this on a longer needle, really. If I want to be kind to myself, I need to do that. Have I taken the time to do that? No. I need to, though. I need to. So, yes, I would like to get this done. The yoke and divided for the sleeves done. Not even divided for the sleeves, but just so we're past the yoke and I don't have to like worry about reading a color lane, which I would really prefer not to have to do. It's fine if I do, but I would rather not. So that's that. Very excited about it. Another thing, fun fact, if you want a little update, life update, it's really not a life update, but we're gonna call it a life update. I've been working on this while we have embarked on our first adventure into watching The Vampire Diaries for the first time, and when I can't even, it is, I don't even know. No offense to anybody who is like an OG fan. I know that there are some people out there who like love it the way that I love the Gilmore Girls. And I would come after anybody who said what I'm about to say about the Gilmore Girls. The Vampire Diaries is absolutely ridiculous. In like the cheesiest way possible. Not in a bad way. Maybe sometimes in a bad way. It's just very campy. It's such a good show to turn your mind off to. There's so many like plot holes and loopholes and things of like how things are explained. Now I have fuzz in my nose from something. One of the fuzzy yarns. Anyway, we've never seen it. Neither Sam or I have seen it, and he was on a business trip recently, and I was just like, I've never seen this. I will give this a try. It was so ridiculous. We restarted it so Sam could experience it and we could laugh at it together, which is quite amazing. Once you start off that way and then you realize that you're actually really hooked and invested in these characters' lives and you have to know what happens to them. In which case it becomes not ridiculous and you actually love it. Not ironically. This kind of thing brings us so much joy. It is one of our favorite activities of things to do together. It's so much fun. In addition to that, Hallmark movie season has started. I've seen many that have been good. I have seen old ones. I've seen bad ones. We've seen them all, I feel like, but also not at the same time. Probably am going to turn one on while I edit this episode. Did I do that? I don't know. Maybe I'll add that if I did here in editing. Oh my goodness. How long have I been recording? Okay, we should be fine. It'll be good. But I am low on battery. So we will wrap this up very quickly. One more thing to talk about. Advent calendars or countdown calendars, depending on what you want to call them. I'm not going to flip this around because I don't want you to have my address. Bye-bye. This is a very exciting package. I am doing the Freckled Whimsy Advent striped socks. This year, I am so excited. A friend of mine did them last year, and it was just like, I need to do this. Why am I not doing this? So, I have this in the package. I will not be opening this until December 1st. I can't remember if I opted for the mini skein or not. I don't think I did, but it's hard to tell. I don't think I did. There's something else in there, I feel like. It's hard to tell. I'm sorry for the crinkling plastic. I didn't even think about that. But even if I didn't, I've got obviously plenty of stash that would work for a contrasting color if I want to do that. I'm so excited. So excited. Another reason to get my Luke's Hotcake socks off those needles, because I have one empty pair from my little dot socks that are not getting finished soon because these are taking priority. And I need to free up these other pair of needles so I can knit both of them at the same time. But in theory, if you're unfamiliar, or if that doesn't make sense, because at the time when I learned about this, I was like, that doesn't make sense. How does that work? You knit a stripe a day. So it's very little knitting on socks. And for me, it's probably going to be hard to not knit more than one stripe a day, because I'm going to be loving it. But it could also be because I'm knitting so many other things that 2 stripes on 2 socks is going to be really easy and perfect. So maybe do I want to open this? Do I want to open it before December 1st so then I can pick out my contrasting color so I can get the ribbing done? Ooh. I have to think about that. Next up is this nondescript pink box. Because again, don't want you to have my address. But this is my advent calendar from Charming You, and I'm so excited. She is a Texas dyer, so I'm so excited to be doing that from getting her yarn. I got to meet her at Houston Fiber Fest earlier this year, back in June, and she's so nice, and her colors are just so good. I remember seeing her advent calendar being posted throughout December last year and just being like, oh, that is in the running for 2023. And my friends, here it is. I am so excited. Her tape on the bottom says squishy mail from Charming You. I'm so excited about this, everybody. It is hefty, and I am a big fan. I don't know what I'm making yet, but I believe next time we chat, we will be getting ready to cast on. So hopefully I will have some ideas. Ooh, I have a folder saved on my Instagram that I've been collecting patterns all year for good advent patterns, or countdown calendar patterns, basically. Whatever it may be. I'm thinking a sweater. I'd really like to do a sweater, but shawls are also great. I don't know. We're thinking. And also, I don't know when I want to open this box, because obviously I know that things are wrapped, but I don't want to like open it too soon, you know. But I really want to open it. I really want to open both these things, you know. I just really want to. It's just very exciting. So anyway, that is all that I have for you all this time. We had a lot to talk about, and there were quite a bit of tangents, and thank you for the finishing up, being patient with the whole Rhinebeck weekend story time. If you were uninterested in that, I do apologize. Thank you for being patient again and sitting through that, or skipping ahead, whatever you may have chosen to do. I do not mind which one. I have all the social medias. I have show note information. I have tack editing information, whatever you may need. If things are not available to you that you cannot find, please feel free to send me a message, or if you just want to say hi, I would love that. My eye is still itchy. It's getting progressively windier. I did talk about the weather again. I'm so sorry. And yeah, so I will not talk to you guys until after Thanksgiving. So if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope that you have a wonderful time, whether it be with family or friends or both, or if you're just hanging out and just having a chill day. I hope that is a wonderful day for you as well. If you are not partaking, hope you have a wonderful Thursday. And next up is the holiday season. It's crazy that the year is almost over. It's been both a long year and a very quick year in many ways. But we're not going to get philosophical about the year right now as I'm trying to finish out this episode. That was silly of me. It's for another time. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you have had a wonderful past couple of weeks. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they're very successful. If you are beginning your holiday gifting, crafting, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you are very successful with that. I keep thinking that I'm gonna do it, and it's getting closer and closer, and I haven't made moves on that. But there are things that need to happen. Sam's socks need to happen. And he also, oh yeah, this happened. We went to Target to do a little like decor shopping. It was great. Came away with such good deals. But we were walking through, it's very fun. We have our like method of walking through Target together. It's very hard to explain now that I'm like actually thinking about it. But we take turns basically walking through the sections that we would like to walk through. So we may walk through the women's clothing for me and just kind of take a browse, whatever, maybe stop, maybe look, whatever. Walk through the shoes, walk through the workout gear for me as well, and the shoes and the jewelry and the socks and all the things that's up at the front, and then we'll make our way through the men's clothing because Sam likes to look as well. Very fair. We were walking through the men's clothing. Did you really need all that backstory? I don't know. The point was that we're walking through the men's clothing section at Target. I just wanted to set the scene for you, okay? I'm so sorry. Anyway, walking through the men's department in Target, and he found this hat that looked exactly like a Harlow hat by Andrew Mowry. And it was like a lime green and a blue or something like that. Or it was lime green and something. And it was such that if you flipped it out on the other side, you could see the other color. So clearly some type of like brioche thing. Obviously it's in Target. It's not a handmade hat. I do realize that. But if I was making one, that's what it would be. Sam picked it up and was like, I love this. And I was like, oh, okay. Would you like one? Yes, I would love one. Okay. What colors would you like? I don't know. Maybe I could look at your stash. Cool. Very riveting conversation. Clearly very motivational, encouraging, long, detailed conversation. When in actual fact it was very short, to the point. Now I know he would like a Harlow hat. And I also am thinking about this because that would also be good travel knitting. And so I may have him actually pick up those colors before we leave. Because we will have a big travel day. And I don't know. Thinking. Really, the main thing that needs to get done is the Yule do. That really needs to take top priority. And secondly will be the Weekender. And thirdly is the syncopated striped sweater. So that's the order of things I will be taking into consideration for travel knitting and knitting during Thanksgiving. Would I like to have a fun cast on for Thanksgiving? Yes. I could have the hat be the cast on. There's an idea. I need to think about this. for sure. I don't know. We will decide. I'm sure there'll be an Instagram post about it, so be sure to follow me on Instagram because I will probably decide before we next record. So next time, I may have all these other things to talk about. Anyway, I need to go. I have rambled on for too long, and it's gonna be a longer episode, and I'm running out of battery, and now I'm running out of SD space. So, thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. You are wonderful. You are enough. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season if you are celebrating. And I will see you before December starts, I believe. Maybe not. I don't remember. In 2 weeks, whenever that may be. Maybe with some finished objects. Maybe not. I don't know. We will see. New cast-ons. We will see. Anyway. Thanks for being here. I am thankful for you. I am thankful for the community that I am a part of, and just being able to do this. This is just very fun and wonderful, and I'm very thankful for that. On that note, I will see you all next time, and good luck with whatever crafting you may be doing. Wishing you all the success, and I will see you all later. Bye!